BMRforum.com and BMRodds.com. What is going on, boys? What is going on? We are back with episode number 35 of The Lobby, moving right along here. And not next to me, but down below me, the man whose hair is now covered up with a hat and he looks like a soccer player, Mr. Sam's in charge. Sammy, what's
Yeah.
up?
Yeah, but then you have to introduce me as the man below you. Damn it, Bobby. One of these weeks we're going to get a good introduction for myself. We should have a side conversation on how to get a good entrance, but it'll get there eventually. Yeah, I got my Lester Jamie Vardy jersey, rocking the Knicks hat. We're multi-sports here.
Well, practice does make perfect. So the more we do this, the more introductions you're going to get, Sammy.
Yeah, hey, side note, I shot an 83 this morning playing golf. It was by far my best round playing golf by 3 strokes.
Awesome.
And I shot a 39 on the back 9, which was, again, my best ever 9-hole score. So I'm pretty pumped that I shot an 83 today. It's probably my last round of the year. And then now I got 6 months off and then hopefully carry that momentum into next season.
All right. Good job. Well, Sammy, what was your best score from all your rounds this season?
It was today. So prior to today, my best score was an 86. Typically, I flirt around 90 to 93, but my best 9 holes was a 42, and then I dropped it down to a 39 today. So really productive round. It was awesome. And actually, on the front 9, 2 of my bogeys, I lipped out pars by an inch. So I could have shot a 37. It was as flawless as I could have possibly played. I was really happy.
All right. Well, every inch does matter. Donnie, Donnie, since we're on the topic of golf, what's your best score?
I was a pretty good golfer back in the day. I actually played on my high school golf team and then was in finance for a while. So I was on the course 2 to 3 times a week. I'll never forget this, too. It's an interesting story. 2001, September 11th. Obviously, we know that date. I went to work. We got closed that day. I came home. And, I was just sitting around. There wasn't really anything to do. I lived close to a golf course. So I called up to see if the golf course was open. And it was. It was the first day I actually broke 80. I shot a 79 for the first time in 2001. My lowest score ever, 76 here. But I played all the time. I was hitting buckets of balls every single day back in the day. So I really enjoyed golf while I was playing it.
All right. And jumping right in here, guys. Jeannie's shout out and pick today. She is on the Mets plus 119. She thinks they're going to go ahead and end that losing streak. And her shout out is actually to poster Quantum Leap. He's been given a lot of winning picks out in baseball, football, and college football. So a big shout out to Quantum Leap and keep up that winning streak. But we'll jump right into the NFL, guys. Donnie, we'll start with you. How was your week 3 in the NFL?
It was good. I had a good time this weekend. Also in the pool, 6-1 last week. So I jumped into the top 5 now. So
all right.
14-7 overall in the season. So we'll see if we can keep that competitive. I always say, like, the first 2 weeks of the season, I just want to hang around. After weeks 3, which started last week, I got a pretty good idea what's what in the NFL. So we'll see if that momentum does carry over. But it was a good time prop-wise as well. I just needed 1 or 2 more props to go my way for a monster week, which included just needed 1 touchdown from A.J. Brown on Monday night when they kept trying to force feed him the football in the end zone, and he just couldn't hang on. But it was a good week overall. I had fun.
Good. Sammy, how was your week 3 in the NFL?
Yeah, week 3 is pretty profitable, pretty good. Sinks that the Cowboys lost, but, you take it week by week. Being a fan of Dallas, you expect a loss like that. But like Donnie said, teams are starting to build their character, and they're coming to form. I mean, the Dolphins are very good.
Yes.
The Eagles are very good. And then Chicago Bears are horrible. And, that crazy game with Denver and Miami, is putting up 70 points. Think about how bad the Chicago Bears are. Denver lost by 50 points, and they're still a road favorite against the Bears. The Bears are a bad football team.
Yes. 70 points. Donnie, did you catch any of that game live? I mean, I can't remember the last time a team has put up 70 points.
That's because it was before we were all born, 1966.
Exactly. Long time ago. But I was watching that game because I had a Denver Broncos team total 19.5, which they actually squeaked by. So that's really the only reason I was watching. So they got it on a kick return touchdown. And I was having a heart attack about. They had 13 points on the board. Score a touchdown, it makes it 19. I'm like, watch these idiots go for 2 because the game doesn't matter. But the game was so out of whack, they just kicked the extra point. Thank you, Jesus, because they finished with 20.
Speaking of NFL, guys, if you have not already had a chance to, there's still plenty of time to jump in our NFL Pick'em pool, guys. You remember each and every week we're going to be giving out prizes for all of the 18 weeks of the season. So you don't need to jump in. You could jump in now and still have a shot at some of those weekly and the end of contest prizes, guys. So if you're not already an opportunity to do that, please go ahead and do that, guys. But congratulations to our week number 3 NFL winners here, guys. Sammy, how was your NFL week 3 in the Pick'em pool? What you go? What was your record?
I think I was 4-3 on the pick'em, but shout out to two guys that were perfect. You had 2 7-0 entries.
Yes.
You had KB Hirsch and Martin Hop. And like Donnie mentioned, if you're looking at the top 5, Donnie's sneaking in at number 5,
Sneaking in, man.
points. You got Hunter Karp at 62, Red 63 in 3rd place, KB Hirsch at 65, 2nd place. And number 1, Big J. He's got a 3-point lead at 68 points. So 7 points is the difference between 1 through 5, 28 points on the line each week. So a lot of time and a lot of ways to make some points and make up that ground.
Yes, it is still a very tight race, guys. And congratulations to our week number 3. As you can see here, the top 5 from week 3 in the NFL, 7-0. Congratulations, guys. But Donnie, how was your week 3? What place did you finish in the contest?
I actually came this week in 10th. I went 6-1. The shame of it all is I had the Minnesota Vikings as my only loser of the week, which had 2 chances to punch it in late in the game for a touchdown. Otherwise, it would have been 7-0. But I'll take it here. It's that steady grind. Just have to have decent weeks and stack them up and see where you're at the end of the season. But I like where my start is so far. 14-7, top 5. See if we can continue that momentum this week.
All right. And Donnie, let's jump right over to the diamond. What do you got for us today in baseball? How's it looking?
Yeah, baseball's interesting now because there's a lot of teams that aren't playing for much, but some of those games, teams are playing for everything today. I think an interesting one here is a team that's out of it, the New York Yankees taking on the Toronto Blue Jays. I have no idea how the Toronto Blue Jays got shut out by the Yankees yesterday, but Garrett Cole in the mound. I actually like the Yankees today, even though, as I said, playing for nothing, basically playing for a Cy Young award-winning pitcher here with Garrett Cole. Also, I do think the Baltimore Orioles, who I thought would have a big offensive output yesterday and didn't, but still won the game, I think they do the same. I'm fading Patrick Corbin today. A couple nice RBI props there set up on Baltimore. And then late night tonight, one of the series that everybody is watching here for sure, that is the Houston Astros and the Seattle Mariners has split their first games within a half game of each other in the wild card race. I do believe the Astros are the better team tonight and will win. Why? I like their 1 through 9 lineup, of course, but I think they have the better pitcher on the mound today in a massive game tonight out there.
All right. Good luck, Donnie. Jumping over to you, Sammy. How is things looking on the court? How is the tennis thread looking? What's the record? What do you got for today?
Yeah, so tennis is sitting at 722 and 592, 28 units. Tennis is in a tough spot this week, just as far as they're in China. So ATP is in Beijing and the women's WTA is in Tokyo. The tournaments are phenomenal. For the men's, you have 7 of the top 10 players playing in a 32 field tournament. On the women's side, you have 4 top 10 players playing. So the tournaments are great. The problem is that the matches don't start until 10 o'clock Eastern time, and then they go overnight. So, I can maybe watch a set before I go to bed at 11-ish, and then I can wake up at 6 a.m., maybe watch the last match or two. But 90% of the matches are when I'm sleeping, so it kind of stinks. I'm basically relying on, watching YouTube highlights. I can't live bet, which is where, you try and make a lot of the money, especially betting tennis. So the tournament fields are great. It's just a stinky week for me, just not being able to watch it as much. But we're still going to get the action going because the matches aren't until 10 o'clock tonight. I haven't even looked at the matchups for tonight, but I'll definitely be throwing down some picks. Always appreciate the input. JJ Gold's always in there. Brock Lander's in there. So always like any involvement, any conversation in the tennis threads.
All righty. Well, good luck moving forward in that tennis thread, guys. Donnie, over to you. Streak of Fortune. How is it looking for you? Guys, if you have not already had a chance to join our Streak of Fortune contest, make sure you jump in there and do that, guys. Really simple. Just respond to our tweet at BMR Reviews on Twitter, like and retweet it, follow us, and then definitely become a BMR baller. So you're eligible not only for the Streak of Fortune, but you're eligible for other great contests that we have here at BMR. 5 winning picks in a row. gets you 500 hours cold hard cash. Donnie, where you at right now with the streak? Do you have a streak alive?
Yes, I do. For the past couple of weeks, I've been making it to at least Wednesday. I actually had the Philadelphia Connection. Picked the Eagles on Monday Night Football. Yesterday, picked the Philadelphia Phillies. Still weighing my options on the board today. So there are a couple good baseball games I have my eye on here. Haven't made my decision just yet, but I'm looking for it. I got to make it to at least Friday. I got to Thursday before. I just haven't made it to Friday itself. So hopefully today I can pick up that victory and then put the pressure and start to have it mount tomorrow afternoon. But I am alive this week. Haven't decided yet who my pick is actually going to be tonight, though, yet.
Hey, as long as you're still alive,
yeah, still alive.
That's important. Yep. Sammy, on to you. How you looking?
Yeah, sadly, for 2 straight weeks, I lost on Monday. I had the Rams +2, which kind of stunk because I bet them personally at +3, so that was a push. But unfortunately, I lost for the streak. But another point to mention on there is that everyone can win. It is not the final man standing
Correct.
wins.
Yes.
Everyone can win. So 5 people, 1 person, 10 people. So I'm not sure moving forward because this is the last week of baseball. I'm not sure if BMR is going to switch up the streak of fortune, but it is a fun time.
Awesome.
Every week they post the lines. Everyone can win. Free entry, free $500. You'd be crazy not to be involved in it. But I'm watching Donnie every day, and I'm obviously rooting for him.
Let's go.
Exactly, guys. And speaking of contest,
you know what? Hold on this. Like us three on here. I'm going to say right now, if I win this week, we're splitting the $500, me, us three. All right? I'll make that right now. Let's get a couple dubs. Let's get a couple $100 out of here. Let's have some fun. The good vibes here, right? Let's do it.
Let's go.
Let's go.
All right, let's get it, guys. And speaking of contests, guys, Donnie, how are you looking in the college contest? You involved? Where you at in there?
No. Not in the college football contest. I'm more of a fan of college football here. It's like my one day to decompress, relax, and have some fun with it. I love to handicap it, but not in too many contests there at that point.
Sammy, are you involved in the college?
Yeah, so I'm ranked 44th right now in the contest, just kind of middle of the line. But in reference to the college, you want to shout out the guys that are doing good right now. So 3rd place last week, you had Broncos with 24 points. 2nd place, Go Bucks at 25 points. And then number 1 was Live Lucky with 27 points. And overall for the leaderboard, you got a 3-way tie with 76 points in 3rd place with Stevie Ray, Hawk Wind, and Go Bucks at 76. Live Lucky at 77. And right now leading the way with 79 points, 2-point lead is Leisure. But just like the NFL, 7 picks, 28 points on the line each week, tons of weeks to go, a lot of opportunities to move up and down in the standings. But right now I'm sitting right in the mid-40s, just kind of hanging around, lingering. Need a couple big weeks.
All right. Well, there's still plenty of time to make that happen, guys. And same with the NFL contest. If you have not already had an opportunity to join the college one, jump in because, as Sammy mentioned, each and every week we are giving away baller coins, and we are giving away baller coins for the end of the contest prizes at the end of the season. So each and every week you have that opportunity to make those baller coins, guys. Speaking of baller coins, and Donnie, I hope to see you in this on Saturday. We have our poker event number 7 this Saturday, starting at 8 o'clock. So make sure you comment down in my thread or make sure you send me a private message if you want to get involved. Speaking of poker, Sammy, you been playing any home games?
Let's see. Had our last home game a couple weeks ago. 13 entries. I think I came in 7th or 8th place. Just had a couple, just a couple poker hands. I have 2 pair and someone has a higher 2 pair. Or I think I ended up losing with ace 10 versus ace queen. I flopped 2 pair, obviously all in. Then the guy ended up rivering a queen. So, just part of that poker grind. Not bad playing, just the cards did the talking. Our next game is going to be October 18th. So we pretty much do 1 game a month, rotating between my parents' house and my house, $50 entry. So it's a good prize pool. It's the same group of guys, a couple guys my age and a couple guys my dad's age. So, we all have a good time, get together for a few hours and pass money around essentially.
All right. And guys, let's jump into one of the breaking news stories of the day out of Milwaukee. They will be receiving Damian Lillard will be going to the Bucks. Portland's going to be giving up only a few players and along with some trade prospects. The Suns are going to be receiving a few players in this deal, but the biggest is Damian Lillard going to play alongside Giannis in Milwaukee. Donnie, what's your take on it? What do you think? I mean, are we going to see a Bucks championship this year?
Yeah, shocking news as it came down the wire here. It's one of those where we thought he was going to Miami all along. When that news broke this afternoon, I was on the radio. I mean, what a great radio show to have where Dame Lillard gets traded. It'll be interesting to see how he does fit in with Milwaukee. Do I think Milwaukee got better from that trade? Yes, I do. But I also think the Phoenix Suns got better from that trade, and also the Portland Trailblazers. It's one of those that I think every team won. Dame won it out, went to a team that has a capable chance of winning the championship and now favored to do so. But the NBA, there's about 5 or 6 teams up top there. They're going to be vying for the rights to win the world championship. I can't wait to see it play out. I like the move for Milwaukee, but also, as I said, I like the move for the other teams as well. Phoenix actually got a bench out of this, which is pretty impressive.
Yes. Sammy, what's your take on it? Where do you see the Bucks going with this?
Yeah, I definitely agree with Donnie there. They have a scary lineup: Giannis, Chris Middleton, Bobby Portis, the Lopez brothers, and now Damian Lillard. I'm excited for Damian Lillard. I think as a a veteran of the game, as a guy that was a home bod in Portland for how many years, he deserves a chance to go for a title. And
yes,
and Milwaukee is going to give him that chance to win a title or at least make it to a NBA Finals. The interesting part when I look at this trade is that teams are trading 5 to 7 year future draft picks. Involved in that trade was a 20 and 28.
I saw that, and that's
draft pick.
That's crazy to me. That's crazy to me.
7 years down the road. That doesn't make any sense to me. So now we're in the year 2030, and they're going to go, oh, the Bucks, remember that trade back in 2023? They got a first-round pick. Let's go. It's like, that's kind of interesting.
It's kind of irrelevant at this point because it's 6, 7, 8 years down the road.
Yeah, that's a little weird. The only thing I will say is I don't necessarily think that Portland got better. They are already announced that True Holiday, who might have been the best player,
he's already looking to get out.
Exactly,
he's already looking to get out. He hasn't even got there yet.
So I'm almost wondering if Portland is already looking ahead to 2024-25 season, because they got rid of Dame, which was expected to happen. The best player that they took on in this trade, they're already looking to get rid of. So I'm not sure what they're looking at in the front office. I am happy for Damian Lillard. I think the Suns improved. I think Milwaukee improved, but I'm not really sure that Portland overall improved as a team, and I'm not really sure what their dynamic will be for this year.
All right, Donnie, how's the Eliminator looking? You involved in anything? What's your picks for the upcoming week? How are you going to stay alive?
Yeah, 3-0 so far in the Eliminator, and the easiest victories you could ever have. Now it starts to get harder because you're using up a lot of those really good football teams, and you start trying to dabble into, should this be one of those weeks where you take a 3.5 point spread, a 2.5 point spread? But I do think this week, I did use up the 49ers. They have a pretty high line this week, but I still have Kansas City open, which they're on the road, which I try to avoid most times. But I probably am looking more towards the Philadelphia Eagles this weekend at home against the Commanders as making that pick. Haven't decided, but that's probably the two teams I'm going to look at. I just don't want to take that bait and say, hey, let's go with the Denver Broncos against the Chicago Bears to get knocked in. Like, what an idiot I am when I could have just survived and advanced once again. Yeah,
but then again, you have to look at it the other way. Then you won't be able to use them again. So it's
exactly
the strategy involved in it. It is.
Sammy,
what are you taking this week? What are you thinking?
Yeah, same thing. The strategy is survive in advance, but if you don't survive, then what was the point of saving that team?
Exactly.
I have 2 entries. The Jacksonville Jaguars are dead to me. All right, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. They lost 2 straight years at home to the Houston Texans, and both years I picked them as my eliminator. So the Jacksonville Jaguars are dead to me. But I do have my other entry. And like Donnie mentioned, I'm not taking Kansas City because I try to avoid the road teams. Not that road teams don't win, but for your eliminator, do you want to take a home team? But I am picking Philadelphia Eagles. And then on that next topic, I'll be taking them as my 7 pick in the NFL pick 7 pool home to Washington.
All right. Speaking of the Eagles, Sammy, I think you had some comments on their defense.
No. What I want to talk about was their offense. So listen.
Okay.
Jalen Hurts has the most dominant 1-yard play in the NFL. It's that QB sneak where he's got 2 guys behind him that just push the line forward. It's the old Reggie Bush, Matt Leinart play in USC that won him over Notre Dame back like 15, 20 years ago. So defenses now have to try and figure out a way to defend it. So, obviously at work, we have a fantasy league. I got friends, we're all watching football. So we're all talking about this conversation. So 2 things come to mind. Number 1, it's always favoring the offense. Why? Because they have that 0.2 advantage of knowing when the snap count is. Now, when you just need 1 yard, that 0.2, when that
Makes a
offensive line
difference.
is already pushing and that defensive line is just pushing their arm up to push, there's the advantage. So the offense always has that little bit of advantage, especially in a 1 yard, 1 yard, when they just need that 1 yard. Now, in my mind, how do you defend that play? I think you need to put 10 in the box. You go man coverage on the outside in case they decide to do a trick play. Line 10 in the box, and you use the offensive formation back at them in defense. You take 3 linebackers behind the 4 linemen, and you push your linebackers against your linemen, just like their fullbacks and tight ends are pushing Jalen Hurts forward. Now, granted, if they're stronger, they're just stronger. And not every team has an Aaron Donald that's going to be dominant on the defensive line to be able to push. But it's just a pushing matchup, and you have to get that leverage. So my thought to defend it is just take all those linebackers, push the linemen, and meet in the middle and hope for the best.
That makes sense. Donnie, let's play coordinator for a second. How would you do this?
Yeah, it's interesting. It's a good point. Yeah, it's a good point Sammy brings up, but you actually can't push on the defensive side here. Not allowed to push the lineman into the offense. So you do have an advantage on the offense. Now, having said that, though, you can't – every team in the league can do this on offense, but only the Philadelphia Eagles make it work. Why? Because they invested heavily in their offensive line, and they have a quarterback that squats like 1,000 pounds and is a runner. You can't really do this with a small in stature quarterback if you don't have a very powerful, guard, center, guard combination out here. It's interesting to see how it plays out. But like you said, the Eagles are too good at it. Let's ban it. Well, then I say, ban Patrick Mahomes from making any decisions on 3rd down and making an unbelievable pass. Why? Because 28 other quarterbacks probably can't do that. And the same thing, you take a look at Lamar Jackson. Don't let Lamar Jackson run on 3rd and 7 where he can easily pick up the 1st down. Why? Because Matthew Stafford can't do that. So why should he be able to? You can go down that rabbit hole here. I have a feeling the NFL is probably going to ban it, but they're not going to do it mid-season. So I do think the Eagles are going to get on the nerves of every single team they play by doing it on purpose multiple times just to rub it in as you can't stop it. So going out this year with a bang, Hurts will probably get 15-plus touchdown, on the season just because they'll wind up on the 1 yard line and push their way into the end zone. It's pretty impressive, though.
I agree with you, Donnie, though. They should not be banning that. Just because a team sets themselves up, drafts
everybody can do it.
Yes. Yeah, I 100%. Because we have seen other teams. Yeah, we have seen other teams try it and fail because they don't have the strong quarterback. They don't have the strong line. So because a team does all the right things to put themselves in that position, and I hate the Eagles, all right? So I'm not, I hate the Eagles. Of
course, you're a Cowboys fan. What do you expect?
But I appreciate and I respect that their ability to run that play. So I'm still a fan of the game. I'm not just a bitter Cowboy fan. I don't believe that it should be banned. I'm supporting the Eagles in this matter, and I'm supporting.
There you go. We love it. We love the support.
So I don't think it should be banned. I think you should be rewarding the team that build their team around a play like that. 100%.
Well, let's go ahead and we'll see what happens in the offseason. Hopefully, it will not be banned. But, guys, if you've not already had an opportunity to get some bowler coins, make sure you follow us on Instagram at BMR_review. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at BMR Reviews. Send BMR Genie a private message with your follow information, and we'll make sure you get those bowler coins. But good luck on the forum.
Whoa, Bobby.
Yes, sir. Go on.
We're going to make some NFL and college picks?
Go on, Sammy. Go on.
We got to talk about the pick 7, right? We haven't even gone over our picks yet.
Go on.
All right. So pick 7. I know Donnie's got some picks too. All right. Pick 7. In at number 7 for me, again, we're making these picks on Wednesday. Sometimes I adjust, but in at number 7,
change up. Yep.
I got the Eagles. Eagles are at home. They're top 3 team in the league behind, maybe Miami, maybe they're better than them, maybe San Francisco. But Washington barely scrapped 3 points at home last week. Now they're on the road. Philly, again, we just talked about it, pretty unstoppable, especially in the red zone. I think that they handle Washington. I'm taking them -8.5 at my number 7. The 6th pick for me, I got the Colts -1.5. Colts are sneaky good. You look at some of the contests. Carolina Kid posted a contest at the beginning of the season and said, what team is going to improve best from 22 to 23? I personally picked the Colts as one of the worst teams in the league last year. I thought that they were going to improve to 7 or 8 wins. They're already sitting there at 2-1. Now, here is the factor on them that's keeping them alive. Matt Gay. Now, you can't say that a kicker wins games, but a kicker that kicks 4 field goals above 50 yards, that will
help.
And ironically, Justin Tucker was 2 yards short of a 61-yard field goal to win that game. So the Colts have a good offense. They're finding ways to win. And I think with the Rams, the run offense is non-existent. And being on the road, I'm going to take the Colts. And then for my 5 pick, I'm going to be taking Seattle plus 1.5. I like that offense with Geno and DK. I've been saying every week the Giants are just a bad football team. They're not going to have Saquon again. I don't see any way, that they're going to be putting up enough points. I think Seattle on Monday Night Football is going to take down that game. And then some other matchups, right now I'm leaning towards Baltimore. I like Miami. I think Miami-Buffalo is going to be, your highest scoring game of the week.
It's going to be a great matchup.
Yeah, great matchup. Miami plus 2.5. On the road, over-under is 54. I mean, that could easily be 64. They could be looking at some college totals there. And then for Thursday Night Football, I'm looking at Detroit tomorrow. When you look at Green Bay last week, they came back from 18 or 17-0 down, but that was only after Derek Carr went down with injury. Jameis Winston came in, and they kind of took advantage. And that offense, out of nowhere, they had 0 points for the first 49 minutes of that game. The last 11 minutes, they put up 18 points. And then New Orleans missed a 46-yard field goal. So Green Bay found a way to win. They are at home, but Detroit is the better team. Jordan Love still isn't impressing me too much, but then he had the fourth quarter. But I'm looking at that for that. And then, I'm also maybe looking at Tampa Bay plus 3.5. It's great with the hook. And again, if you're looking at Jameis Winston or Derek Carr, he's coming off a what was his injury?
Shoulder, or Jameis was a knee, shoulder for Carr.
Wrote it down somewhere. Yeah. But yeah, that's what I like in there. I do hope the Cowboys win on a bounce back game, 6.5 against New England. But yeah, those are my picks for NFL as of Wednesday.
All right. Good luck with those. Donnie, moving over to you for your 7. What do you got?
Yeah, no particular order, which I love the fact that, because we do this for the show on a Wednesday, and as Sam said, there are some changes to be made, but I'd like to actually lock in a couple plays and sort of weigh on me, so at least I have that template out. The teams that I'm looking for of the 7 games, I like Jacksonville this weekend on the road. Actually, it's not really on the road. It's in the UK. They're technically a home team. Not impressed with what I've seen out of the offense for Atlanta and Jacksonville. They got to wake up sooner or later. There's way too much talent. I think they handle their business right now, listed at 2.5 on the pool. I took them. I'm also with Sammy taking Indianapolis. Look, whether or not Gardner Minshew plays or Anthony Richardson, who's back to practice now and might be playing, at least there'll be packages in for Richardson, who's a dynamic runner. Minus 1.5, I think they take care of the Rams. Back-to-back road games, technically in that, Rust Belt East Coast area. That's tough to do here. Also took the Minnesota Vikings here to beat the Carolina Panthers. The Carolina Panthers are really down in that secondary, and this isn't the team to face. One of the best and hottest quarterbacks in the NFL right now, Kirk Cousins, with 9 touchdown passes. He should be able to get involved. They look for them to put up their first win of the season. I'm also going to take the Eagles going up against Washington on Sunday, that minus 8.5. But I took the Buffalo Bills at home against the Miami Dolphins, laying the 2.5 in this game. Also, I'm taking the Cleveland Browns. I love the Ravens this year. I actually have tickets for the Ravens to win the Super Bowl. I don't think they're going to beat Cleveland. I'm very impressed with their defense overall. They're at home. They just have to cover the 2.5. I think they get that done. Then Monday Night Football, I'm going the Seattle Seahawks as well. I think they'll handle their business against the hapless Giants. Don't know which way I have them, 7-1, but those are the teams I'm looking at this weekend to take.
All righty. Well, best of luck with those, Donnie. Best of luck with those, Sammy. And best of luck to the entire forum on the rest of your week and weekend picks, guys. We'll catch you on the forum.
See ya.
See ya.